Mike Dagenet here with BTS Golf. Now, as a player with square shoulders, okay, in the backswing, we know that you should have the ability to turn the upper body against the resistance of the lower body. Okay, so your upper body can twist while the lower body remains relatively stable. Okay, especially if you have a long upper body, what's going to happen is you should have the ability to turn the upper body and remain very, very stable in the bottom. A lot of the younger players are actually able to not even move the knees whatsoever in the backswing as they take the club away, because the upper body can rotate against the resistance of the lower body. What you have to guard against, however, is making sure that the right knee, which is in line with number 2 on the BTS mat, which is the front of your right foot, you want to make sure that that knee never moves or that the hip never moves that way. Okay? So if anything, when you want to make that move, that backswing, your right hip can actually go backwards, away from the camera. Okay? So in order to be able to turn your upper body properly and keep this still, the right hip, which is lined up with number 8 on the mat in the beginning, the right hip is lined up with number 8 on the BTS mat. So the hip pocket, the seam on the pants, is on number 8. When you make your backswing, the seam of that pant is actually now going to go to number 9, which is the back of your right heel. The hip's going to start in the middle of your right foot, and then in the backswing, the hip's going to move
to number 9,
which is the back of your right foot. And that will allow you to properly move the upper body and turn the upper body against the resistance of the lower body. Again, we don't want the hip to move that way or the knee to move that way. The hip can move back, and that will keep your knee nice and stable for loading onto the backswing.
Notice how the right hip pocket moves towards the rear of the player in order to properly load onto the right leg. The right hip pocket moves towards the original position of the back hip pocket.